He's gonna announce it here. Is the conference, how long are you going to I have no idea. Hopefully just an hour. We're going to go around.
When Texas Instruments and other companies began work on digital cinema, it was over 10 years ago. Yet today, as John mentioned earlier, less than 5% of the screens have been converted to digital projection. Of the early adopters, approximately 75% are in North America, and the rest split between Europe and Asia. Nevertheless, it is now possible to say that we have arrived at the end of the beginning. It's been a decade in the making, but we're finally past the point of beta testing and committees deciding standards. Today, we have a viable market. So what is DLP cinema? I'm going to go through this real quick, because I'm sure a lot of you have talked to our OEMs. We're the world's leading technology for watching movies in cinema, business, and home. The driving force behind the digital cinema revolution. It's a licensed technology and brand of Texas Instruments. It is a specific brand with specific sequences that make that movie look better than film. And it's available only from licensed partners, Barco, Christie, and NEC, which I invite you all to see at the trade show. It's based on the unique 1.2 and 0.98 DC2K chipset and its proprietary cinema and 3D software processing. It could be argued that this slow take-up of digital projection has been due to the need to agree to standards, to test equipment, and so on. However, I contend the primary reason the pace of product development in digital projection has been slow is because the true cost and the benefits of digital cinema to the main interested parties, equipment manufacturers, film distributors, and exhibitors, are not reliably known or properly understood. The lack of solid facts about the economics of digital cinema has led to a very long game of poker. Such games aside, the long-term picture looks rosy for exhibition, distribution, and equipment manufacturers. Ultimately, it will become more viable to show more movies to much larger audiences, since digital prints cost less, requires less handling, and offers far more flexibility in programming.
So just to talk a little bit about Access IT. So in Tony's slide, he talked about how the number of screens has really gone up. And the majority of those screens are screens that have been enabled by Access IT. I think they have close to 4,000 screens in phase 1. If you're a member of the CBG, you know Access IT has just signed phase 2 agreements with 4 of the studios and signed an agreement with CBG for another 10,000 screens. So this is all really happening, and it's happening right now. The digital cinema infrastructure basically is every auditorium has a digital projector. They all have servers. There's a library management server that allows you to do that kind of programming where you can drag and drop just like you're programming your iTunes playlist and create very flexible programming. So what we do at the bigger picture is we're really looking to take advantage of that infrastructure to enable you to create the kind of schedule that I showed you, where we bring together essentially programs of content. Because Tony is right, the marketing is always a challenge. If you have something showing in 100 theaters for one show only, there's a limit to how much money you can economically spend to market that. But if you're in 500 theaters and you're showing it multiple times, there's a lot more weight that can be brought to bear. And especially in the Access IT universe, if you converted and you've got a digital projector in every auditorium, and you have a central server, and you have satellites, now all of a sudden you have the ability to do in theaters what no one else can do, and you have a competitive advantage in terms of getting people there to see content. So in our vision of true digital cinema, you go from a schedule where a movie plays 5 times a day, 7 days a week, doesn't really change, to a universe that looks like this, where you can, based on the demographics of your audience, have preschool screenings at 10 a.m. and baby boomer wellness information at noon, and big screen gaming for teenagers at 4, the blockbuster movie for the 7 and 9 shows, and then a midnight showing of something entirely different. So it really gives you an opportunity to program for your specific audiences in your specific communities.
We launched Screen Vision Programming Services in August 2007 to help our exhibitor partners increase ticket sales during non-core movie-going hours. During that time, we hired David Wengrad to head up the division. We have had 2 events that occurred in 2007 that became series in 2008.